Gotham Knights is getting some bad news. Today, we actually saw a hugely awesome trailer drop for Gotham Knights that featured both Nightwing and Red Hood in spectacular gameplay. I actually made a video reacting to the trailer and breaking it all down, so make sure you go check it out. It turned out fantastically well and features some awesome gameplay. I would even say that that's my favorite type of trailer to get for a game that I'm excited for because, well, we got a lot of gameplay. And so it's really exciting to see what we will be able to do as players when we control these different characters. Now, I know what you're saying, Blitz, the title, what you're currently saying, this all sounds like wonderful things. How is this bad news? Well, the bad news comes in when you realize that the final screen that showcases the, hey, pre-orders available now for this game and features all of the platforms that this game will be released on, it no longer featured a logo for the Xbox One, nor did it feature a logo for the PlayStation 4. That was somewhat disconcerting. I did notice that, but I didn't want to go on ahead and mention it just ahead of time to be raising alarms without verifying things. But now that it's verified, it is clear that this game will be only released on current gen consoles. So that, of course, includes the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X/S, and the PC, which means that if you're a PlayStation 4 player or an Xbox One player, you will not be able to play this game any longer. Now, hold up, calm down. I know the initial response from everybody is like, this is absurd, this is ridiculous. I always want to go on ahead and tell you guys to just step back for a second and just put yourself in the mindset of the developers. More importantly, put yourself in the mindset of the publishers. If they're a business, and they are, and they're a for-profit business, meaning that they need to make as much money as possible, that is their duty to their shareholders, that then makes you think why would they not release the game on PS4 or Xbox One if that is the biggest install base? There's the most amount of PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones. There are far more of those in the hands of customers who are ready to go buy the game than there are PlayStation 5s or Xbox Series X's. And so that then makes me think that the reason for why this is happening is a technical one. This means that it just simply probably does not run very well on those previous generation of consoles. So this is not a case of where I think that they are trying to go on ahead and force everybody to upgrade, because there's nothing from them to benefit from that. It's not like the company that is publishing this game, WB or Discovery Warner, that they somehow have ownership over the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, and so it benefits them to upsell everybody to the new generation. I really do think that this is just a case of the game probably does not run very well on those previous gen consoles. And so instead of making a much inferior experience available to those players who will then ultimately still complain and go on ahead and attack the developers for the fact that, hey, this game is not optimized, and there's only so much that you can do with older generation of hardware. So I understand that it's frustrating. I understand that for the people that can't afford to find or get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, or the people that simply can't find one because it's literally impossible to get a PS5 right now, it's incredibly frustrating. And I acknowledge all that. But I also think that the reason why this is not happening is most likely a technical one and not one that a lot of people will attribute to something like greed or something like that. Now, with all that negative stuff out of the way, I actually have some good news as well. And that is that we got some reveals for what will be featured in the deluxe edition for this game, as well as the collector's edition. So let's run through that to end off on a bit more of a positive note. So the game will actually launch in 3 different SKUs or 3 different price points. You have the standard edition, which will be $69.99, along with a pre-order bonus of the really cool bike from Detective Comics 233. So that's neat. But then if you want to go up a notch, you would pay up $89.99 to get the deluxe edition of the video game. And this would go on ahead and allow you to have access to quite a few more goodies. All digital, but still really cool to see. So first and foremost, you will go on ahead and get the Night Watch skins that are basically designs by Jim Lee. So I think that's pretty cool. Then you get the exclusive colorways. Now, I'm not really sure what that applies to, if that applies to the skins, if that applies to the vehicles or not, but it's interesting that we do have these different colorways available for costumes. You get an emote, which is neat because that implies that there are emotes in the game, which is something that we have not seen yet. So similar to like games like Fortnite, etc. You get boosted gear and salvage items, which are basically the in-game currencies and materials that you use to build upgrades and get better stuff. But the most exciting part of this is probably the Beyond suit style, which will be available for all 4 of these characters. And essentially what it does is it takes that concept from Batman Beyond and applies it over the aesthetic of this video game to give you 4 unique looks for all of the 4 playable characters. So you have Robin, you have Nightwing, you have Batgirl, and you have Red Hood. I really like the designs for Batgirl and Red Hood. I'm not a big fan of the Robin design. He looks a little too villainous to me. I don't know, maybe it's just the kind of black mask design for the actual like face and stuff. Nightwing looks okay, I don't mind it, but I think Red Hood actually looks super cool and Batgirl looks spectacularly awesome. So I'd probably say those 2 are my favorites. But if you want to really go on ahead and splurge, and boy, oh boy, are you going to have to splurge, because this is a $300 cha-chang $300 collector's edition for Batman Gotham Knights. You will get the deluxe edition included in this particular collector's edition, which means that everything that I just mentioned before will apply to this version as well, because you will get the deluxe edition as part of it. Then in addition to that, it looks like you do get an actual kind of like art book, and within that it seems to be like we're going to get some sort of a disc that will probably feature a behind the scenes look at the making of the game. So that's pretty freaking exciting. There's a cool key included as well, which I'm sure will apply to the actual story. Oftentimes these collector's editions, particularly for the Batman Arkham games, feature some spoilers from the game. So we'll find out eventually what that Talon key is. And then you do get the really cool statue featuring all 4 of the playable characters in the game, ready to pose and ready to take on the Gotham attack from the Court of Owls, featuring, of course, Batgirl, Red Hood, Nightwing, and Robin. Oh, and as if all that wasn't enough, you also do get a map, because, of course, in 2022, everybody loves having a physical map, because, well, I don't know why, but you do get a map, so that's probably the lamest part of this collector's edition. So there you guys have it. Those are the collector's editions. Those are the deluxe editions discussed here. Let me know what you think of this news. Are you bummed out if you're a PlayStation 4 player, if you're an Xbox One player? Is this kind of a reality check for gamers everywhere in terms of like where this really might be the year that kind of a lot of the previous generation of consoles get left behind, as newer releases just simply cannot afford to support the old generation as well as the new gen stuff? So let me know how you're feeling about this news in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that the deluxe editions and the cool content there kind of cheered you up and brought some positive info your way as well. Have an absolutely fantastic day. I will hopefully catch you guys here on the next one. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, guys.